guys, how's it going? Welcome back and welcome to the review on the Ridgid 18 volt multi-crafter oscillating tool. Now I do have a review on the 12 volt one because I also happen to own the 12 volt one and I have a boatload of experience with the 12 volt one because that's what my boss uses at work, and I've been using his tool up until I got this a few days back, and so now we each have our own. Anyway, so I bought the 18 volts originally, and when he first saw it too, he was like, well, it's a little longer, you know, I don't know, it could work. Turns out it's not a good idea for working in small areas on trailers, okay, because what me and him do is we work on RV trailers and motorhomes. We pretty much rebuild them from the ground up. There's not too much we don't do on them. But anyways, and one of the tools of the trade that we need are these things. And of course, I need one anyways for doing projects in here. And I have 3 of these in total. 2 of them are Ridgid and 1 of them is mastercraft. But I have running footage of this one, the 18 volter, on my channel with the mastercraft. So check out the versus video and you can actually see how this runs, because I want to try and keep this review short, so go to that video and check it out for running footage. Anyways, I also do have running footage on this one as well. So anyway, it's $109 Canadian at Home Depot for this, and that says a tool-only version, so no battery, no charger, just your tool with your accessory kit that it comes with, and you do get lifetime service agreement warranty that you must register if you want to take advantage of lifetime warranty, which covers, by the way, even normal wear and tear, which is awesome. Now, since my 12 volt review, I've done a bunch of research on multi-crafter tools, different brands, including the company who designed the thing to begin with. And I tell you, and I'm going to tell you straight up, if you're looking at a multi-crafter tool, go to the Ridgid one. Alright, and why? Well, less expensive than a lot of the others that are out there, okay? Like this mastercraft one, for example, for you Canucks, this is $180 a Canadian Tire, okay? 20 volt model, whoopee. It can't cut very well, alright? It's a perfect sanding machine, but that's it. And if you look, you're kind of stuck with that's it. It's a multi-crafter for blades and for a sanding head. That's all you get to do. And that's all you get to do on all the others that I've researched. I've looked at about 20 different models out there in different configuration setups, and this is what I found. Ridgid is pretty much the least expensive one out there, and still being a quality tool, of course, and contractor grade. Ridgid seems to have the best design for a toolless head. Okay, now toolless heads are kind of a new thing for Ridgid, but you know what? I think they nailed it, because you just pull the bar up, pull it back, flip the key. There's magnets that hold the blade on, which is kind of nice. They're pretty strong magnets. Pull your blade off, change your direction. Okay. And there's a lot of different directions you can move this blade. Some of them only have 4 positions. This one can go in a lot of different positions. Of course, when you use other manufacturers' blades with the included adapter, that's where you are going to end up probably getting reduced amount of positions, but that's the way it goes. But with the Ridgid stuff, you're pretty cool that way. Flip the key back over, boom, and put that back down. That's it. The head can be removed, and you can switch it around to any 4 directions. Now, they did make a really good improvement on this head over the last design. It's a lot tighter fitting. And so you can move it here and still keep trigger control precisely where you need it. Okay? You will always have maximum precision trigger control by just switching that head. And they give you examples right on the sticker here inside of some of the tools that they carry for this. They've got a ratchet, Okay, so you're used to using like a, you know, like a ratchet wrench. Well, they got a powered head that goes on. Well, it's a head. It's powered by this. They have that goes on. They got a sawzall. They've got a hex impact. They've got, of course, this head. They've got a regular drill. They've got a jigsaw. They got a lot of different things for this thing, okay? That's just some of the ones they list there. There's a bunch of them. Anyway, so Ridgid is the only one that offers this sort of a system that none of the others seem to offer that I've looked at. And like I said, I looked at a boatload of them. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And this is only a $109 tool, and the heads don't cost that much. Most of the heads, from what I've seen for this, are like about 70 bucks tops, like 68.99 Canadian. You know, so it's inexpensive. You know, I mean, when you're looking at the sawzall attachment for this or the 12 volt, I don't care which one. The sawzall attachment is more made for, you know, cutting through thinner woods, cutting through, well, it can cut through 2x2s without a problem, you know. And it has no problem going through drywall. But if you need a heavy-duty sawzall, Ridgid does make a really heavy-duty sawzall, and I actually have one. It's their 18-volter, and that's made for some really serious demo work, and you can cut through, you know, some steel with it and other stuff. And I'm talking some thicker steel too. I've actually used mine cutting through 1/4-inch steel, and it did it. You know. Mind you, cordless tools are one thing that a lot of people don't realize. They think, oh, it's a battery, it's got this much amperage, I should be able to, you know, go all day. No, that is not how these things work, and that's a whole other video. However, in the meantime, the 18-volter is very much to be impractical for tight spaces in RV trailers and motorhomes. This 12-volt one, there ain't too many places you're not going to get into with this sucker, okay? So it's very ideal working on RV trailers and motorhomes, if that's what you do for a living like I do. And so, perfect choice. Also a great choice too for, you know, household stuff. You know, like if you're doing just some DIY projects at home, definitely. If you're more of a serious contractor kind of guy, this may be one option, especially if super tight spots. But otherwise, I mean, the 18-volt is a little heavier duty, does have more power, and even at the same amperage, this is a 2-amp battery, but you can get a 4-amp, you can get a 5-amp, okay? The biggest battery you can get for the 12-volt version is going to be a 4-amp at this point in time anyways, and that's going to give you a lot of extra runtime. But I get exceedingly good runtime even with this 2-amp battery, you know? Now, with the 12-volt 2-amp, I also get a lot of good runtime. The thing is if you're using the tool the way it's made to be used, okay, then you're going to get a lot of good runtime even out of this 12-volt with a 2-amp. But like I said, you can buy the 4-amp battery if you want, and you can basically double your runtime. It just means you're not swapping the battery as often, okay? But that's the way the ball bounces. Now, this is comfy in the hands. It's really not that heavy, you know, so it's not awkward. That's the 2-amp battery. Now, I got a 3-amp battery here. So, if you throw on a 3-amp, it adds a little bit of extra weight, you know, a little bit more bulk, and it does start to throw it off a little bit for balance, okay? I kind of like to keep the 2-amp. I got the 3-amps. I use them for my sawzall, or sorry, not my saw. Yeah, my sawzall and my circular saw is what I use the 3-amps on. But these 2-amps are perfect for any of my drills and this. It's a quality built tool. It even has a very bright light, which is nice. I really like the bright light. I don't know what else I can tell you about it. Well, it does have forward and reverse like the 12-volt model does, and that's for when you're using attachments that require forward and reverse action. Otherwise, you can just leave it on forward mode or reverse mode, whichever, and do your oscillating fun. It's an overall, it's a great tool. Like I said, comparing it to so many other models in the market, including the company who designed it. I'm sorry, but Ridgid seems to be where it's at when it comes to this. And the price is unbelievable. I mean, $109, and I mean, they've now lowered the prices too on their batteries. 2 amp batteries, I can't remember what they were, but off the top of my head, but now you can get them for about 68 bucks for a 2 amp battery. Now you can get a battery and charger combo kit, which would also give you lifetime service agreement on that kit, which is nice because this is LSA. So you register this for LSA, get the battery and charger kit combo, whichever combo kit you want, 2 amp system or whatever you want. I like 2 amps, mind you. But then they're covered for LSA. You register for that, and you get perfect setup. Now you can also buy this as a kit with battery and stuff, okay? And I just bought it this way because I already had batteries, and also my Home Depot stocks this one. They don't stock the kit. They just stock this one for the 18 volt. And I thought, well, I want it now. And I got batteries, so who cares? You know, no big deal. Anyways, that's the way she goes, guys. As far as star ratings go, I mean, that would have to be kind of like a double thing. For working on RV trailers and motorhomes with this 18 volt model, I would probably have to put this thing at about 3.5 out of 5. If you are working on houses and stuff like that, or sheds, whatever, other things other than RV trailers and motorhomes, I would definitely put this at a 4.5 out of 5, easily, okay? So I have to kind of give it a dual rating in that sense, just because, okay, I've had my experience with this, and very tight spaces, it's not going to do well. And before we go, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about when we're talking about tight spaces. A lot of you know I'm building a quarter scale RV trailer right now. Okay, let me just move my camera. And one of the problems here is I have a modification that I need to get done if I want to accomplish what I want to do here. I'm going to try and get this at the right angle for you guys. Now, because I kind of put my walls up a little too soon, but I had to anyways, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, I didn't account for when I put my next side panel on, I got to cut the windows out into my outside panel, okay, and then frame everything in. Well, my bottom bedroom is a problem because I can't get my hand in the small doorway that I made. So I'm going to have to increase the size of this doorway a bit, or I'll have to see if my boss is going to be able to do that little measure it from the outside, because he's really awesome at measuring stuff more than I can for something like that. But this tool is too big to get in there to make that cut properly. I can't get the room I need because I also have to go up as well, okay? The 18 volter cannot do it. The 12 volter, on the other hand, the 12 volter is going to let me go up, and I have lots of swing room, okay? And I can go on the sides, and I have lots of swing room. This is what I mean, like tight areas in trailers. And this would be considered in a real trailer a very tight area. And the 18 volters, forget it. It ain't going to do it for you. So if you work on RV trailers and motorhomes, I'm not saying don't buy the 18, okay? Go ahead and buy it if you want to use it in bigger areas. But if you want to get into big and small areas, that's what the 12 volters for. And that's where you're going to see the best benefits there. All right? I don't think there's any spaces in a house where you're going to have a problem with the 18 volter. Okay? And the 18 volter is a little bit more heavier duty, but that doesn't mean you get to go and, you know, just tear into that tool that much harder and abuse it more. You use the tool the way it's designed and meant to be used, and you won't have any difficulties with getting your stuff done, you know. So both are great, both are practical, but just when it comes to the motorhomes and RV trailers, this is not so practical if you need to get into tight areas. Okay, that's the only problem with this version of their multi-crafter tool. Where this one, you ain't gonna have that problem. Alright? So that's where we're at with it. Thanks for watching the video, by the way, and for bearing with me with this. And like I said, please check out my 18 volt versus the 20 volt mastercraft one to see it in action. Check out my 12 volt review on the Ridgid, and let me know what you guys think. And you know, I'm not saying, you know, Ridgid's the end all to be all, and there's nothing better out there in the market, but for, you know, what we're doing here and talking about, Ridgid's definitely got a lot more going for them than the other competitors seem to, and for a lot less money, and you're still getting contractor grade products too. So that's a big thing, you know. And a company that takes care of its customers to the extreme that Ridgid's willing to do, that to me speaks volumes. And anyways, and like I said, I'm not opposed to other brands. I got Black & Decker tools. I've got well, I got one Ryobi tool. You know, but I've got a variety of tools, so it's not all just about Ridgid with me. And every tool I have has a purpose and has limitations that I have to work with, just as you do with your tools. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.